what about you? So after taking a week off, it's finally time for review 83, and it's already going really well because on the first take I forgot to turn on the damn microphone. So that being rectified, stick around and I'll let you know my thoughts on the Chivas Regal 13 Extra Aged Oloroso Sherry Cask. What's up, folks? I'm Big Al and welcome to Whisky Spain, where you can join me in my spiritual odyssey through the wonderful world of whisky. Now, if that's something that appeals to you and is something that you want to be part of, please hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, click on that bell notification so that every part of that journey you're on it with me. So let's take a look at today's whisky. It is my first review of the Chivas Regal. It's the 13-year-old extra, and it's aged in Oloroso Sherry Casks. What attracted me to this whisky? Well, a couple of things. The first thing was the big writing, Oloroso Sherry Casks, and I'm a sucker for that, so I decided I'll take a closer look. Then I saw the price. It was an offer from 35 quid down to 22. That's another box ticked. And to be quite honest, too, if you look at the box here, it's quite cool artwork too, so it is a wee bit eye-catching. And so upon reading it, it says that what I'm to expect here is a rich combination of sweet ripe pears and syrup and vanilla caramel infused with cinnamon sweets and crisp almonds. Now, that all sounds appealing to me as well, apart from the almonds bit. So I thought, you know what, down to 22 quid, I'll give it a go. So as usual, before I get right into the tasting, just a few details about the whisky itself. All the relevant details about Chivas Brothers and the processes will be in the links down below as usual. Now, this is a blended Scotch. It's aged 13 years old. It's selectively matured, they say, in Oloroso Sherry Casks. But if you look, you'll see that there's a wee caveat to that. There's a little asterisk, and if you look down to the finer print, it says that there's only a portion of the whisky has been matured in Oloroso Sherry Casks. So we'll see if that makes a difference overall or not. And the recommended retail price here is 35 quid, although you can pick it up on offer if you just wait. Anyway, well, let's get right on with the tasting. If you have got a bottle of this, please pour yourself a wee dram and join me. If not, anything really will do, so you can sip along as you hopefully enjoy the review. So we'll start off with a nosing. Sláinte. Right off, definitely getting a distinct note of pear. Now, it's pear that, unlike what it says on the box, I'm not getting it as really sweet and ripe. It's more like a mashed caramelized pear. And there's a definite vanilla thing going on as well. It's like a nicely caramelized, roasted pear with a dusting of vanilla over the top. All things that I really, really like. Now, here comes a wee bit of oak. But it's delicate oak, and with it I'm detecting, which I don't really get a lot in whisky, a kind of a lavender aroma coming into play. And then that pear element, it comes a wee bit more candied in nature. Still some vanilla there, a wee bit more candy vanilla now. some light syrup, and all in all, this is really pleasant on the nose. It's light, they're nice flavours going on there. They're not overly robust, but if you like those kind of things like I do, you'll find this really, really pleasing on the nose. See if the palate lives up to the nose. Quite sharp on the arrival. Touch of cinnamon there with a pinch of ginger, but as that dies down a wee bit, what you've got is that caramelised pear element is coming back into play. But initially, because of the sharp arrival, it's somewhat downplayed or maybe totally taken out of the picture because of that cinnamon, ginger, spicy note going on. But we'll get back in, and hopefully now on the second sip, as the palate acquires the taste for that wee hint of heat and the wee bite, hopefully it'll come a wee bit more together and we'll find an overall more together experience. So here goes. Oh, I should have said, I think I forgot to say at the start, that this is bottled at 40% ABV, and that actual wee initial burst of heat belies the fact that it is just at that base level. Yes, just as a thought, while that pinch of spice is there, very definite, more ginger now than cinnamon, the caramelised pear element is still there, and once the ginger sort of dissipates to a certain extent, the vanilla pushes through again, and you get that nice blend of the caramelised pear, the hint of the spice with the ginger and the vanilla all coming together reasonably well, but it's still a wee bit sharp. Not as smooth in many ways as you would think that a 40%er would be. There is a nice bite in there, which may be to some people's liking or disliking, depending on what your preferences are. So let's go again. Now, as it develops on the palate, dark fruits come into play. Now, this is more of what you would expect from an Oloroso Sherry Cask. Like right up front, those first couple of sips, there wasn't really a big element of what you would expect or what you normally get in Oloroso Sherry finished whisky. But here it comes now, and it's dark fruits, damson, plum, raisins. It really is quite dark and rich in nature when it develops towards the rear of the palate. And in many ways, it comes a wee bit more alive in terms of the sherry finish. Now I'm getting some blackberries of all things. Again, those dark fruits. A wee hint of that caramelised pear does pop in as you go past the mid palate, but now as you're getting used to this, it really does come into its own in the Oloroso sherry finish, and with that it gives quite a long tannic dark fruit finish. For a 40% whiskey, it really does linger, and after those initial couple of sips, the rich, more robust, dark fruit elements do come out, that do come into play, and it's quite contrasty compared to what you're getting on the nose and what you get in the palate. How does that relate to an overall score, and would I buy this again? When I think about it, you know, for a 13-year-old whiskey, I'm not going to get in the whole blended or single malt thing, because to me it doesn't matter. A good whiskey is a good whiskey regardless. So I would buy this again because I like it. It drinks more than a 40%er, and there's enough of that Oloroso Sherry finish in there that attracts the likes of me, and you all know I'm a big sherry head when it comes to whiskey. So in terms of an overall score, let's just try one more to get my head around it. I think 86 would be a good score for this. Good whiskey, nice flavours, a wee bit sharp at times, but it's good to have a wee bit of bite in your whiskey at times.
Keeps you alive. I'm feeling good.
So there we go. As I say, finally got this number 83 done. Hope everybody's keeping well. Thanks for joining me. Let me know your thoughts down below, as always. If you've had this whiskey before, what you think of it. And thanks for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. So until the next time, folks, please look after yourselves, look after each other, and keep on drinking your whiskey the way you like it. Sláinte. Thanks for watching, folks. I really do appreciate it. Please check out these other reviews, and if you'd like to support the channel, the best way is by subscribing, liking and commenting. And don't forget to ring that bell for all video notifications so you don't miss out on any future content. Cheers.